What's up, YouTube family? Welcome to another episode of Life with Jen and CG. We're super glad to be coming at you with yet another week, another episode of our recap from Basketball Wives. Monday was the airing of episode 4, coming out of the whole skating, the ice skating thing. So it's getting a little heated for sure. Yeah, it's getting a little heated.
Let me just jump in here. So we are on episode 4 of Basketball Wives, and the season gets crazier and crazier by the episode. And I just want to start by saying they didn't show the aftermath of the ice skating rink, but after the ice skating rink, we actually had a safety call with all of the cast. And it was a Zoom call. I think you heard some of it.
Yeah.
And it was basically because things got so crazy at the ice skating rink. They didn't show everything that happened, but Brooke actually lost her shit. So you don't see this in the episode, but one of the producers, she got hit in the head with a bottle. Good thing she was wearing a wig, so she was fine. But it got really crazy. So not even 24 hours after our safety call, I then have an incident with this psycho, slurring, high, drunk, crazy bitch.
And I was supposed to be there, but yeah,
Yes.
I didn't go.
So, and I'm gonna jump around a little bit because this is out of sequence of what happened on the show, but I'm just gonna jump right into it because everybody is talking about this incident with myself and this crazy woman. So this incident happened literally the day after we had the safety call, and it was basically the network, the producers, the executives from Truly, which is our production company, saying, listen, you have to keep your hands to yourself. We have to protect the cast, the crew. And here it is. This woman just act like she was not on the call, which she was. And here we are. So
what went through your head when she took her two hands and just it's like she did shove you, but it wasn't like a.
Before we even get into that, because they did not show this on the episode, so prior to our exchange, when I first sat down, the girl could not even talk, which I don't know what y'all doing over there, but you definitely should have showed this because it would have basically, the viewers would have seen how erratic her behavior was prior to this whole exchange. I sat down. The woman could not get out one word. She could not talk. She was like, I was like, yo, can y'all get her some water? This is all happening on camera. They didn't show any of this. So the girl, she couldn't talk. She was slurring her words. She was coughing. It was like, does this bitch have COVID? What is happening here? So then she finally gathers herself and she starts with this, I don't even know. She just came from such bad energy. And I was like, wait, hold on. I think you're getting this all confused because when I'm asking her, like, who do you know? It has to make sense to you guys. Somebody just comes around and nobody introduces them as their friend. It kind of doesn't make sense. Like, who's this new girl? So even to us, she just kind of appeared. So she just took it the wrong way. And I don't know, maybe it's the perks, the drugs, the alcohol, but
Perks
she
is
just
crazy.
lost her shit. So I excuse myself from the table because at this point I'm saying, okay, you know what? This bitch thinks she's Barbara Walters and gonna interview me. It's not gonna happen. Like, girl, you're trying to get a seat at this table, not the other way around. So I'm gonna excuse myself. So as I'm walking out the restaurant, I guess that's when she gets up with 2 left feet and decides to chase me out the restaurant. I'm now outside. I don't know what's happening inside. So I'm outside. I'm waiting to get demiked. And here she comes. So not in a million years, and especially not after the safety call that happened the day before, did I think this crazy erratic bitch would then decide to fucking put her 2 hands on me and shove me.
But
No.
her energy
So
was already off,
here's my thought process when it's happening. I'm saying to myself, we just had a safety call. Number 2, we are on Robertson. There are a million people here. I have way too much to lose. I am not going to let somebody that has nothing to lose get me out of character. And, you know, I see all these comments online like, oh, Jennifer, you need to stop being punk and you need to, you know, put your hands on this person and don't let nobody put your... Listen, I understand all of that, but I'm never a fighter. I'm a lover, and I get that. But at this big age, I am not going to be caught dead on Robertson in LA fighting a nobody. It's not going to happen. Never in a million years. And actually, as this scene is like wrapping up playing, it's a commercial to My True Scam Story with Jennifer Williams, as if I'm going to be caught fighting somebody on TV. And I got another show that's going to be airing next week. No, it's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
So I had to just jump into that real quick.
Yeah.
Since it's like fresh on everybody's mind. So
there y'all have it, and honestly, when you sat down, from my perspective, her energy was already off. It wasn't like
I know, but like I said, babe, what you didn't see was she was already being weird. I don't know if her ride to the restaurant, she was getting wasted or what was happening.
She was definitely,
but
off
the girl is just weird in general. So also, it was at a restaurant called Soulmate. And I kept telling you about this restaurant Soulmate. And I was like, babe, it's called Soulmate. We got to go. And you were actually supposed to meet me. And thank God that he didn't meet me, because that would have just been a whole nother nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you say, I would have did this, I would have did that. I don't know what I don't know. But, you know.
Who knows? It might not even went that way. Whatever. It is what it is. It happened. The girl is a hot mess. That is my perspective on it. So that was, I think, towards the middle of the episode. Let me see, because I had to, you know, take notes.
Yeah, that was more toward, it was probably a quarter of the way in, maybe halfway. I don't know.
Right. Well, on a lighter note, we did go look at some dogs. That was amazing. We got to spend time. And let me just tell you, this place that we went to go look at the dogs, it was a rescue, because in California it's actually illegal to buy a dog at a store. So there's no dog stores anymore, which is crazy to me. But when you think about it, there's really no pet stores where you can purchase a puppy anywhere.
Yeah, it's just
there used to be like in the malls and stuff like that, but no, so it's illegal in California, but there's so many dogs that need rescuing. So we went to this place, which looked like an Apple store for dogs.
For sure.
Remember, it was so high tech.
It was probably like 20, nah. 12,
No,
it was like 12-foot screens, like 12-foot tall screens, and it had the dog's bio, the breed, how old they were, and they had like these suites. I'm like,
everything was touch screen.
Yeah, dogs living. They living.
It was definitely it was a high end rescue.
For sure.
But we saw some amazing puppies, and
I knew we weren't gonna find the breed there. I mean, it was like the breed she wanted. Maybe would have found the breed I wanted, because it's just not that astronomical. But she wanted a teacup poodle, and we did see 2 little puppies that they were cute at the time. They're probably huge now though. So
no. So here's the thing: I love dogs, so it was cool to spend some time with the animals. But I was like, these things are gonna grow up to be giants. So that was fun. I thought that was like a good lighthearted moment. That was something different outside of all the craziness that you've seen going on. But obviously we didn't find our dog there. But in story-wise, we're still on the journey to find our dog. Obviously we have Roby now, which we love. He's a whole handful. I don't know if he a teacup no more, but honey,
I think y'all love
he
Rovi
is.
too. I mean, the feedback. Everybody's like, "Where's Rovi? Where's
He's
Rovi?"
such a cutie pie. He's gonna have to make an appearance soon. But yeah, so we did that, and then, babe, you got introduced to the girls this episode.
Yeah.
So that was good. So let me just say,
Guess they thought they was gonna put me in a fire or something.
well, you know, they wanted to interview you. But so Giselle, she threw a party for her fiance, Natasha, who was in the WNBA. And the whole team ended up coming, as you saw in the episode. It was her teammates, her coach, the whole nine. And I thought Giselle did a great job with the party. And it actually went off with a hitch. Everybody had a great time. There were no bad apples there. Kalanick didn't come. Brittany didn't come. So it was pretty much drama free.
No,
It was
a good
good.
event.
Like everybody had a good time. It was nice to meet Natasha and to see their interaction. I think they are like really in love, and
for
it
sure.
was beautiful to witness. And I think it was great for the viewers too, because this is something different for the show, a WNBA player. So I thought that was just a nice touch.
And the food was fire.
Oh my God.
Whoever that chef was.
Kudos
Giselle,
to the chef. The
Yeah.
chef made some type of fish that I was killing.
I think it was
the-
sea bass. I think
Was it sea bass?
think
Yeah,
it was.
so the food was great. I mean, I had a good time. This was your first time being around all the girls. So how was well, not all of them, but the majority of them. So how was the experience for you?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I of course, I walked in, off the rip. I think, what was it, Evelyn and Brooke was asking questions, and then I had this chick Vanessa kind of eyeing me down the whole time.
Bangs.
You'll find out later about what's her name, Bangs. You'll find out later about how she feels about who Christian Gold is or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I was cool. Answer questions how they should be answered in a truthful way, and yeah. So
And
You
here's
know.
the thing. Again, we film these scenes and it goes on. And obviously, they only use certain parts of it. So they were asking him a million questions. They chose to use whatever questions that they wanted to use. But the exchange was way longer. You know, like they were like, what do you do? What is it? What do you how you meet? Like, and then they were like telling a story, and then it made it seem like you and I lived in the same building, and it's like, no, we didn't. That wasn't the accurate story.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Editing
saying?
is crazy,
It's like
y'all. It's
I'm
crazy.
like, I live in a townhouse. He at the time lived in a building with our mutual friend, and that's how we met, because I was with the mutual friend. We were at the rooftop. We met at the rooftop. Guys, get
That's
the
it.
story right. That
That's
was
it.
not the story.
That's it. But
So
yeah, I mean,
it's just that's why I like to do this, because it's always interesting to see how they edit the show. Even for me, because when I see the show, you guys see the show, I don't see it in advance. We all see it at the same time. So when I watch it, I'm like, hold on. That's not wait a minute, it's a little
not even-
discrepancy here.
Not even close. It's like I'm looking and I'm just like, okay, I'm looking for certain parts because I remember everything during the process of filming. I'm just like, I understand they're going to cut a lot out, but it's like the most intricate parts are just left out, right? But hopefully it gets better as we move on through the season 11. And before we keep going, I got to shout out, of course, Bel Air headquarters.
Self-Made Studios.
We got Vion, which is a premium cognac. Definitely, y'all take note of this. This is definitely something premium.
Well, why don't you pour a little?
I'll pour a little bit, Pour a little bit of this. This is, and I believe is black owned, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course.
Yeah, it's black owned. I mean, everything up here is black owned. So, pour a little bit of this. Put it on the rocks for
Ooh-wee.
all my yak lovers.
That looks strong.
Woo, it smells strong.
Oh my God, let me see. What are you
Smell
supposed to
it.
do?
Yeah, you gotta do a little twirl. Honestly, it's supposed to be.
Ooh!
It's supposed to be on one rock. It got
Wow.
a sweet smell to it though.
Yeah,
I don't know about
I'm
that.
gonna wait to.
I'm gonna let that.
I gotta
let
finish.
that ice.
I gotta finish talking so I don't slur my words and sound like colonic. So let me just jump right. So babe, I know it's like one thing you filming with me, right? Because that's kind of I'm the intro and we filmed our scenes, but this was like your first time filming with more of the cast. So how it's kind of control with me. I'm only going to say but so much or do so much.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, you're with these girls, who knows what's going to come out of their mouth. So what's that experience like for you?
Well, that's always to be expected, babe. I mean, first of all, I'm like, at the time, I'm the only guy in the room, I think, right? Outside of production.
The chef, yeah.
And the chef. I'm the only guy in the room. I'm in a room full of women. Women talk, they gossip, whatever. Of course, so when I walked in, I had already had it. I had already known that I was going to get the questions, the interview process. Of course, Evelyn, Brooke, which, Jen are pretty close to, they were pretty much there asking the questions like, who are you, where you come from, do you have kids, what's your background, of course. And I believe I handled it appropriately. And of course, I spoke to them and let them know my truth. And, as far as being, in this space now, of course, supporting my now fiance, it's super new because my life is very, very private outside of this, right? So this is super new. Is it uncomfortable? No, it's not, right? Because at the end of the day, whether I'm on TV or I'm speaking to a person in a business meeting, I'm going to speak on my truth and my perspective, how I perceive things, and the outlook on pretty much everything. So, the questions were valid. I believe they asked great questions. And what I don't deem to be valid, full transparency, is just like the certain stares and the looks I got. But, that's just people passing prejudgment. Of course, we know who I'm talking about. But people passing prejudgment before they actually know who the person is. So, yeah, I mean, it's different, this world is different, but I'm here for the ride, for sure.
What did you think when Jackie was like, "Oh, let me sit on his lap"?
Well, at first, when we first sat down on the couch, because of course it was Jackie, then you, then me, right? Mm-hmm. I think I was on the end, respectfully. So I'm not sitting next to no woman. I'm gonna put my woman in between, but her energy was kind of weird.
I think she has something going on with production that had nothing to do with you.
So at first I thought it was us. I thought our energy maybe rubbed her the wrong way, which is crazy because our energy is always just super vibrant, personally and as a unit. So, it was cool. And then of course they went off to talk, and I think you had some shots with Jackie and them, which Jennifer hates shots, but she took shots.
Oh.
They came back lit, and then of course Jackie was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just sit on his lap." And of course Jen is. How I felt was like, you're not sitting on my lap. That's not happening. And of course, Jen, she intervened and was just like, nah, that's not happening.
So I think that's how I ended up sitting on your lap, because she was like, oh, let me sit on his lap. Because I saw someone make a comment like, why is she sitting on his lap? Because one, I could sit on my man's lap if I want to. And two, Jackie was talking about sitting on his lap. And it's like, girl, you've been married for anywhere from 25 to 30 years. I don't know, because I feel like the number changes.
Oh, geez.
So I'm not sure. But it's like, you've been married for a long time. I don't think your husband would appreciate you even making that comment and then following up with the action. Because if I said that, babe, you would be like, what? You're trying to sit on a man's lap? It's just, it's a little off.
No, I wouldn't expect you to move in that behavior.
No.
Because I do what I have to do at home, so it would never.
I mean, I'm thoroughly satisfied, so I would not be bringing up another man or saying I want to sit on another man's lap. But
you think she was just playing, or you think she was serious? You think she would have? You think if I would have let her, she would have did it?
I saw Jackie at the Mail Review, and you guys will Did you hear that?
I think that's cool though. I mean, I don't know. It is
I
a day
don't know if
after.
that
It's
was
a day after Halloween. So
Was that a sign? Are you here? So yeah, you guys will have to wait to see that episode, but it'll be a cliffhanger. I'm gonna leave it there. But I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
But I feel like so those were like the main things that happened.
Yeah, because we even when after the whole sit on your lap situation, we had we all you Brooke, Jackie, and Evelyn were coming back from having a private conversation, and we all sat at the table and talked. And then of course Vanessa inserts herself across the table, right? And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is when I knew, right? Before this even comes out, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this is when I knew that this woman had something against me. I don't know what it was. I've never seen her a day in my life. That was the first time me having an interaction, introducing myself, whatever. But she stared at me at the table like she wanted to kill me. And I'm just like, yo, I don't know what it is. And of course, at the time we're filming, I'm brushing it off. I'm just like, look, evidently this chick is off her rocker, something's wrong with her, but I'm gonna just ignore it and continue my conversation with,
Well, I had been telling you, like, from my first exchange with her, she was a little off, right? And she's been off ever since. She's still off. And I mean, in the preview, it's not like we're spilling it, because in the preview, she is trying to figure out your situation with your kids, talking about the math is not mathing. Like, girl, what's not mathing is those fucking bangs and your makeup. You look like somebody just threw flour underneath your eyes. So, girl.
So as far as the math not mathing, right? Let me expound on that. So I have a 2-year-old son, right? I'm not going to say his name because I don't want any weirdos looking up my kids or coming after my kids. I'll protect them by all means. At the time of filming, I had an almost 1-year-old. I don't know what the math means. I don't know if that means I should still be with their mother. Me and their mother had already split up by the time my daughter was maybe a month and a half, 2 months old, right? So as far as the whole math not mathing, I brush it off because I know what the truth is. And then of course, she said what she said. I didn't even know the interview consists of the math not mathing. I didn't even know that came out. But of course,
yeah, she says it.
Yeah. But I knew she had a problem with me at the table that day. I was just like, okay, I don't know what it is, but the world would be able to see it, of course. And then, of course, on the show later down the line, you guys will be able to know the truth directly from me, right? And of course, people speak what they speak. They look up. Of course, she's known as the bill collector, and she's investigating people's marriages and relationships, and she got a lot going on at home, right? So I'm not the person to gossip, but I'm gonna speak on what the truth is, and
well, she also said in the preview, oh, I don't think Jennifer knows her boyfriend. He did 10 years in prison.
Right. The whole world knows that. Well, I didn't do 10 years. I got sentenced to 10 years to do 7 years of that time, and did 3 years actually, right? So it's like when you come with investigation paperwork or whatever it is, you got to come clean. You got to come with the facts, right? And it's also, I think she goes deeper into, I'm not going to state that, but she goes deeper into the whole investigation report. But I'm in pretty much an open book too, because all platforms I speak on, when I do mastermind sessions, the first thing I tell is my story, because my story sells. My story, people can relate to the story. That's the reason why they buy into the brand, right? Because they're like, well, if he can go through this situation, I can hit rock bottom and climb out of that situation as well, and live happily ever after, and get to the bag or whatever whatever have you. So, misery loves company,
For
but
sure.
I'm not there to keep you company.
And here's
at
the
all.
thing, I don't even know Vanessa, so I think it's just really weird, but this is her energy. Like, girl, you don't have nothing better to do but to go home and start Googling people's boyfriends, mates, husbands. I mean, the girl is just too invested in shit that she has nothing to do with. As
Yeah.
you can see from episode 1, she was highly invested in Evelyn's situation with her son's father, and the mother it just is like, girl, that's not your damn business. And once again, she inserts herself into a situation where it's not your business. I don't know you, he don't know you. We don't care what you think,
I don't
but
desire.
you are just messy. You want people to be miserable, and you want to throw stones at a glass house. Why don't you start in your home? Because you got shit going on, but you don't want to address that, and you want to project that negative energy onto other people. We're not here for it. We're blocking you.
Yeah. Well, I blocked, including this one. I blocked.
I mean, it's just negative. It's just negative energy. And like, girl, just because the situation doesn't add up to you, it doesn't matter. We don't need approval from you. Like, who are you to say, oh, you shouldn't be with this person because X, Y, and Z? We could say the same thing about you. Your husband went to jail too for cocaine. So nobody's talking about that because guess what? We don't give a fuck. That's your house, your household. You deal with that. We're good over here. And for you to try and spoil somebody's happiness, it's like, bitch, you're miserable. Get a life.
One thing,
And get a facial while you're at it too.
babe, you gotta don't be too hard.
I mean, I'm just
I mean,
saying,
you know-
like that, a facial will relax you.
Yeah.
Maybe if you know, when you look good, you feel good. Pun intended. Bitch, you look crazy.
And when you feel good, you put it out to the universe.
Yes.
It's very true. I mean, you got a point. You have a point.
Exactly.
You have a
It
point.
wasn't all shade. It's for real. Like, girl, like, go get a facial. Maybe you'll feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we really just, we want to expound. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like I don't have to explain, but of course, we have loyal following and we have loyal subscribers that tune in every single episode to get the truth and get the authentic, when it comes to Life with Jen and CG. So we're going to give you the authentic and let you guys know what's being edited out and what the real storyline is. This is not even a storyline. This is like real life, right?
Right.
So,
And you have spoke your truth. Like, you did a video for our
years.
YouTube followers
For years.
talking about who you are. You also wrote a book talking about your experience and what you've been through, and you speak your truth. So give them the name of the book so they can buy it.
it's actually, the link is in my bio, right? So if you follow the Lord Investor, which most of y'all do, but it's spiritual architecture. I wrote it. So I went into prison in 2015, start writing the book top of 2016, and published it October 2016. So you can find spiritual architecture on Amazon. You can find it on Barnes and Noble. Pretty much all you gotta do is if you type in spiritual architecture, you can find it. But the link is in the bio, and I will also drop it in the description as well. So you can literally click the link and go directly to check out. I believe it's amazing because honestly, as I studied, the word or the spoken word, as I said, I actually was teaching it as I was learning it. So I believe definitely if you feel like you are lost, if you've hit roadblocks, if you feel like you're at rock bottom, I think it's a good read for you. And also stay tuned for my upcoming project, War of the Mind, that's going to be published and released January 2024. So while the haters keep talking, I'm going to continue to pound a bank account. I told my fiance, haters turn into believers and believers turn into paychecks. So honestly, keep hating, right? Like we loving the lovers, right? That's really what we on. So,
And listen, my theory is this: if people are not talking, then you're not doing something right, right? And even if it's good, is bad, whatever, you were on somebody's mind, and for that, it's like, wow, you think that much of me that anybody that makes a negative comment, says something negative for no reason is weird to me, right? It's like, you have never met this person in your life. They hold know nothing in your life and you just feel the need to be like, oh, they're this, they're that, it's something wrong with you. You know, like I don't sit around and talk negative about people unless you fuck with me. And Vanessa has been fucking with me and you. So yeah, I'm speaking negative on her because, girl, when I met her, I didn't have that energy. I was just like, okay, this is a new person. I didn't know what she was on.
Yeah.
But now I know how messy she is and all of the shit that she has going on and just who she is as a person is ugly. I'm not talking about her face. She is an ugly person inside.
Let me get you right.
So,
Let me get you right real quick.
okay, thank you.
She on fire, y'all.
So anyway, but you know, like I always say, we love who love us and we love the haters too.
For sure.
So
For sure.
you know, I'm okay with that.
Listen, pass your haters to me. I need it, right? I need it because it fuels me, right? I got a message from one of my close friends, man, like from middle school last night. He was just like, yo, I see it, like the press and the media. Remain Christian, knows who Christian is. God knows who Christian is. And, you know, keep your relationship. Honestly, he did expound on keep your relationship private. Of course, it can't be private even if we wanted it to, but there's things that the world doesn't know, but they don't have to know it, right? Well, what happens in our household, the things that matter, is not publicized on the internet, right? You know, the media is going to speak and they're going to put these articles out and they're going to say this, that, and the third, but it's already been put out to the world who I am, what I've been through, and what I did to overcome it, right? A lot of us go through things, a lot of us commit crimes, or a lot of us get falsely convicted of crimes and we don't get caught. But guess what? I got the other end of the stick. I was on the other side of the fence, and guess what? I went down for something, and guess what? I came out on the other side, and I decided to speak my truth and tell other people, listen, no matter what you go through, we all make mistakes in life. It's on you to make the choice.
And honestly, like, I'm just going to speak on this because I feel like what you went to prison for was bullshit, right? You're in Georgia. It's a fucked up system here. You know, obviously we're in a Republican state and it's not a good state for a black man because I understand it was
nowhere in the South.
It was like technically you didn't do a violent crime, you weren't selling drugs. It was literally a domestic situation with a woman that was off a fucking rocker.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you guys know, because I spoke about it in episode 7 when, you know, you guys were asking who CG was. It was false imprisonment. I think I'm about to sneeze. It was false imprisonment, but, you know, it was a situation that's super common in relationships, especially toxic relationships. You're trying to have a conversation with your spouse. Things go left, and, you know, the situation ended how it shouldn't have ended that way, but that's how it ended. Of course, the state picked the case up. No one pressed charges. And that's how it is. Something can happen, and let's say there's a victim in the case. They don't do anything about it. They don't press charges, and the police are called. A year, 2 years, 3 years later, they can pick it up and literally put you in court for it. That is the system that we live in, and I've been actively working to get out of the South, right? Because it's literally a fence. It's a police state. What they call it, the Bible Belt. So.
Oof.
It's tough, man, but you know, I don't.
And I really want to say something in regards to this because, you know, I have a documentary that is going to be airing on Monday, November 6th, before Basketball Wives. And I myself had to deal with the state of Georgia not being on the stand, but I was a victim. And the state of Georgia picked up a case because this man stole my Range Rover. So here it is. I listened to your story and I'm like, wow, this man, Aaron Nichols, has really ruined a lot of people's lives, livelihood, destroyed bank accounts, and there has been no accountability. Zero. So here I come along. He now steals my Range Rover, and I decide, you know what? I'm going to go to the police. I am going to actively tell my story, which that took courage for me to come forward because I am in the public eye, and this is not something we talk about a lot in the Black community, is being scammed. But guess what? This shit happens every day. Whether you're scamming your own kind, the government, a bank, it happens every day. So I go to the police looking for help to try and find my car, this man that took money from me, my car, and I'm not getting a response.
Yeah.
And it's like, this man is really out here doing horrible things, not just to me, but this is something that has been going on for over 2 decades. I have somebody on my documentary, Maria. This happened to her in 1994, and I'm not going to tell her story because she tells it.
Sheesh.
And the FBI pulled up to her job behind this man. And we just saw him a few weeks ago walking out of Chops. So it's like, you got people out here that are committing real crimes that the state of Georgia is just like, this man is like, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So I just had to correlate the two because I'm like, you got people that are out here really doing fucked up shit, and the cops are just like, he's like skating because it's not necessarily a violent crime and it's not at the top of their radar. But you really are stealing from people.
Yeah.
And that is a crime. So you guys will hear more about that on my documentary, My True Scam Story.
I'm
so
excited
make sure
for
you
you.
stay
Next week.
tuned. November 6th is part 1. November 13th is part 2. And yeah, it comes on at 8 p.m. right before Basketball Wives. So, but I think this has been a great recap, and
Yeah,
I'm glad
think-
you got to tell your side of the
For
story.
sure. I'm always tell it.
And I think it's great that we do this because, again, you guys only see the edited part of the show. We film these scenes, they go on, and you only see a few minutes. So I like that we get to be able to express the behind the scenes, our true feelings of what really happened and what they show.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. So we're on a roll here, and I guess
it's about to get spicy. I think.
Yes.
It's
Oh
like
my
the
God.
core of the season at this point. So.
yeah, we haven't even gone on our trip yet. That's totally crazy. So it's a lot. It keeps, I guess, listen, drama sells. So it keeps getting better and better. But thank you guys for tuning in to our recap. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications.
Turn 'em on.
And besides the recap, babe, we have to do something else. So you guys let us know what you're looking forward to seeing, and we'll be doing some other things besides the recap. It's just our lives have been so crazy. I know we keep saying that, but we're going to be more in tune.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, drop it in the comments what you guys want to see. Of course, listen, whatever it is, right? But until next week, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Love is love.